Welcome to Not Your Father's Film School. I'm Tony Kamitsis, and today we are going to be talking about the essentials of movie making without the film school degree and money. First thing you want to do is, can you get your hands on the equipment, or do you already have the equipment? The equipment's everything from cameras, lights, cables, batteries, very, very important. You don't want to run out of power on your camera, and then next thing you know, you have to call a day of shooting because you forgot the charger and a battery. So, equipment is everything. How are you going to get that money, though? There comes the next part. Who's going to finance your film? I'm making a movie called Hooky, and it starts filming around May of 2016. Right now we are in March. So that gives me 2 months to generate the other money that I'm trying to raise up. And so, you got to make sure you have the money for the equipment for the movie. After that, you're going to want to know, what are you going to edit on? Because anybody could film nowadays. I have a cell phone that I can make a movie on. Me and my friends made a parody intro to Full House. We're working on our parody intro to Friends. May or may not happen, but it's always a fun thought that we could do. And it's one of those things that you have to know what you're doing. Are you going to edit on, iMovie, which I don't recommend because it's very difficult, learning curve, it's slow, it's for home movies. Not movies, more like home videos of your kids at the park, your friends playing with their dog. I recommend Final Cut Pro or Sony Vegas. Those are two of the top line video editors for people who know how to get them. And then after you have your video editing software, a few other things you have to do. You need a script. You need to know who's directing it, because a lot of people think they could write the script and direct it themselves. It is tough. Me and my friends just filmed a concept video, and I forgot how hard it was to direct at one point because I haven't done any directing since high school, and here I am a few years out of college, and I'm like, shit, what do I do again? It's all about everything has to be planned. We rushed it. It looks good, in my opinion. That's because I made it. Now, for people who are like, well, I'm going to write, I'm going to direct, and I'm going to star, more power to you if you could do it. But I recommend, if you're going to write it, have somebody else direct it with you. You need that second voice. You need that person to question you and be like, hey, are you sure this shot is good? And then after you have your group of people to help you make this movie, not counting actors, you're going to need your assistant director. You're going to need your person in charge of props, in charge of location scouting, everything. You got to make sure you have those people on hand. Then it's come time to make the script, or, if your friend already wrote it, use that script. For Hooky, I started off writing it alone, and then I'd be like, I need a second opinion, so I'd send it over to my friend Chris. He would tell me to change some things, and that's why I gave him a collaboration credit on the script, because it's not only my idea. I, pitched it out to him. He sent it back like, what if you did this, or take that out, it doesn't make sense, or we need a reference to the tagline of the whole movie. And so pretty much that's how you could get it all done. I started off by writing the middle scene first of, 4 people realizing what they did. And then I was like, well, how do they get here? And then what's going to happen after? So I put that in the beginning of the movie and then went straight back to the beginning and wrote everything out until that point. And then I hit a wall. I was thinking, where do we go? Because the story's almost done, but we need that finish, that big, funny finish. So I took a few days off. Chris sent me some ideas. And after about a week or two of me being like, I don't know what to do, I sat down and I wrote. Came out bad, I threw it out, I wrote again. Came out okay, threw it out, wrote again until I was happy with it. And now I have, a script that should run about an hour and 10 minutes that I'm happy with. It's going to be my movie. It's going to be something I want to do, something I'm paying for myself, something I'm directing. And Chris really wants me to be in the movie with him, and I told him maybe a little cameo scene because I'd rather be the other side of the camera. So we'll see how that goes because we're still in pre-production with, location scouting, music scouting. That's another thing. Sound. Very, very important. If you see somebody's feet touching the ground, make those footsteps, people. I've seen a lot of home movies where they forget all about basic sound. Ooh, excuse me. And then after the script is all done, you get your actors. Don't cast your friend because you want your friend to be in something. Make him read the part, because If I were to cast my best friends, we'd end up with something I would never put in a film festival. It's something I'll show around the internet for fun, but for this, I actually went to a few of my family members and friends and like, hey, pretend you're in this situation, talk. And that's how I ended up with my brother and one of my cousins, and one of my friends, who's a family friend, I consider him like family, as my two main characters. They're going to play brothers, and their chemistry and dynamic work so well. And I'm surprised how well it flows, because at some times I forgot I'm writing fictional characters, because after I cast them, I reworked some scenes to add for them, and bam, I'm loving the script every minute more when I look it over, especially. And for another two characters, my friend Chris, who helped me write it, it was meant for his role the whole time. I wrote it with his style in mind of how he speaks, how he walks, how he talks, how he picks up a cup. And he told me, he's like, add a brother, you're going to do it. And I told him it's going to be, a little tough for me to direct and stuff. And that's why I decided for my assistant director, I'm going with one of my friends that I went to film school with at Nassau Community College, who, if I do something wrong, she will slap me across the face, because we worked on, little movies for class together, and she knows what to do, what not to do. And then after you got your cast, it is time for read-throughs. Get everybody in one room. Everybody. I don't care if that guy has one line. Get him in that room with you. And everybody's going to read the whole script together out loud. Share. Make it all camaraderie. It's going to be one of those things where, everybody's got to see if they can deliver it, because if one person's chemistry is slightly off, your whole thing goes down. So what I am going to do is I'm going to have everybody come together. I'm going to order pizza, and I'm going to tell them, you're going to act out your lines while sitting down, and I'm going to record it all, and it's going to be a ball and a blast, because I'm going to be having some of the funniest people I know in this room reading a script I wrote. And once you finish all the rehearsal, the blocking, the location scouting, you got to pretty much then start dressing up your movie. If it's going to be indoors, make your indoors look like somebody's actual home that a character can live in. Don't just use your house. And if you are going to use your house, take your pictures off the wall if you're not the character in the scene, because it's weird. Yesterday, when I filmed a concept video, I forgot to take down all the pictures of my family, so it's weird that I'm on the wall, but I'm also in it. Sorry about that. I had to answer a message from one of my buddies who's going to be helping me with lighting. But yeah, you got to take those pictures off the wall. You have to, make it look like, if your character is a single male in his 30s, make it look like a single male in his 30s lived there. Don't put a lot of plants unless he has a reason for having plants. Don't put, what are those things called? Potpourri in the bathroom. No, we don't do that. You're going to put a sports magazine by the toilet. You're going to put greasy nachos in the sink. You're going to have dirty plates everywhere. If that's your character. If he's nice and clean, yeah, make the place look nice, but make it look masculine. Don't make it look feminine like a mom lives there. I've seen a lot of kids do films, and it looks like their mom's house. So, if you have somebody living in a room and his character's very, nice, wears a suit all the time, don't have posters on your wall. You got to make sure you make it look like somebody is very important. Make them have a desk, make them have their suits up, nice, neat, clean. Characters, they're all important. I saw a movie called Cheap Thrills. I knew nothing about it. I was with actually a few of my buddies when we watched it. And pretty much the characters all worked. The guy, was struggling, so they made his apartment a little two bedroom apartment, or was it 2 rooms and a bathroom? I haven't seen it in like 2 years now, but movie was amazing. And the other character, we never saw his place because he, was your general tough guy, just got out of prison. And so they brought him back to this rich guy's house, and they made this guy look even more rich. We're talking about big pool, big rooms, big stack of cash. And, as the movie went on, we're learning more and more about these characters. What will they do for money? And, important things for your movie. What will your character do, even if it's not associated with your movie? I'm going to film a little short about 2 of the characters in the movie, of them just talking about something stupid that they normally wouldn't talk about, just to see how the chemistry is between characters. Because Movies can fall apart if one actor is acting a certain way and the other one doesn't take the role as seriously. So, after you have your practices, your location, it comes down to how am I going to film this? You should already have your camera. You should have a shot list. What days are you going to film what scenes? So if I have a bathroom, any scene involving that bathroom, I'm going to film on one day. All my actors are going to line up downstairs. I'm going to have that bathroom, and bam, any character that has to be in that bathroom is going to be in there. I'm going to film their scene 4 or 5 times, and then next character. Save time, make it productive for you. And now, sometimes actors can't meet up on a day. You have to be flexible too, Mr. Director, Mr. Producer, because, people are busy. People have lives. You're not paying them to be in this movie. I know I'm not. I'm going to give them some food. But, you got to be flexible. So if my main characters could only work on a Saturday for one scene, I'll be like, okay, so I'm going to move this scene Saturday and bring up Saturday's scene some other time during the week and balance around my whole schedule around that one fact. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hair-wrenching. You're going to pull your hair out. Some people are not going to be able to get the line so easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my actors improv. They're going to do the script twice, and then they're going to improv a few scenes because it's a comedy. It should come off as chemically funny. So pretty much, he's going to read his line 2-3 times till I think he got it right. Then I'm going to tell him, say whatever you want now. Pretend you are in the situation, but pretend there's no script. Speak. And now that, you have your movie all filmed up, always make sure you have a few extra scenes from filming too, establishing shots, B-roll, a little bit extra. Maybe you could throw it on mid-credits. Something silly and stupid. Because people love it. But now that your movie's done, you're in the editing process. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to edit. I'm going to tell you, though, sound, very important. Don't put music for the sake of putting music. And make sure you have the rights for that song you're putting in, because I know countless videos that got taken off of YouTube because they used the most popular song for a fight scene without getting permission. Ways around this are A, make your own song. B, go to local bands and have them sign a waiver to let your song be in this film for nonprofit. Or C, buy music from websites where they make the music for you and you could use it for non-commercial purposes. Meaning, you can, as long as your movie does not make money, you may use it. Now, you could buy the song flat out and the royalties from it and then use it however you like, but that's super expensive, so we're not going to get that rap track that we want. We're not going to get that 1980s hit that we want. But you can make your own track for it. For Hooky, I'm actually going to have a few DJs making tracks for my movie. I'm going to have my own soundtrack. I'm going to have bands, local bands, making songs. I'm going to go up to bands that I meet and be like, hey, I like your song. I'm working on a movie. Do you want to make one? Or, can I use this one? I'm gonna give them full credit. Locations, too. Locations, that's what I forgot to talk about earlier. Film where you have permission. You could go guerrilla style, but you could get in a lot of trouble. So if you have access to something, like I have access to a diner, I have to go get permission also. But, you typically will ask them, if they're a 24-hour place, what times are they not as busy? And then ask them if you could film for an hour in the back, not like in the kitchen, but in the back of the restaurant away from everybody. I'm going to be filming one scene that is going to be like a little side reel. Maybe I use it for a short teaser promoting my movie. Maybe I put it in the movie. Who knows? Some things will be left on the cutting room floor. But, if you have a 1980s car, use a 1980s car. Just don't tell everybody you're in the 1980s when you see a 2013 car driving by also. If you have, fake guns, be careful with that. You can't go walking around in a public street with that. You have to be very careful. I would limit all the gun use to inside a house. And you got to make sure you put those muzzle flashes and smoke and the fake blood, and that's a big cleanup job, but it's going to look good. Another thing is fake drugs. Now, don't be smart and be like, I'm going to actually smoke weed for my movie about weed. Put oregano, and have them smoke a flavored cigar. You put oregano on a table for the weed. You put, flour for cocaine. There's ways around everything. Portobello mushrooms, like sliced up, will look like mushrooms. There's legal ways to do this. Kids, don't get in trouble just because you want to do something that to you seems fun but is illegal or decriminalized, but still, something you shouldn't be doing. My movie's going to have a few drug references, but I'm not going to have actual drugs there because of the fact that I don't want to get in trouble for it. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, well, you're a fucking loser and stuff. Just use the weed anyways. It's decriminalized. Still decriminalized, but I'd rather go to bed knowing I'm not going to get my movie removed because I used real weed. Other things, to bring up is if your movie's going to have that hard R rating that you put in your head yourself, because don't forget, every movie does not have a rating until the MPAA says so. So my independent movie will be an unrated movie. And if you post it on YouTube, put disclaimers. Tell people it's going to be involving drug use, partial nudity, excessive use of the word fuck. Who knows? Let people know what you're doing because you don't want a little kid watching something they shouldn't. And, once, you're in the editing stage, you're going to think about all this. Should I rate this hard R for myself or a PG-13 rating? My movie, I'm going hard R because I want this hard R comedy. My follow-up movie to this, oh man. The two main characters of my movie now thought of the follow-up movie, which is not going to be a sequel, but it's going to star them two. And oh, it's a doozy. I can't tell you what it's about because people will steal the idea. But it's going to be good. That movie should be dropping 2018, late 2017, early 2018. Hooky will be done August 2016 and on YouTube. And now, once you finish editing, show it to yourself, your assistant director, and have a little event for your cast and crew. Show them, give them cards, show them 3 endings also. Which scenes did they like, which scenes didn't they like, what looked good, what didn't. And then go back and edit that shit that they don't like and re-edit the shit that they like to make it better. Everything's all about perfection. I will make a movie and I'll think it's great. And then, 50,000 people watch it and think it's the worst shit on earth. If that one person liked it and said that you inspired them to make a movie, you did it, kids. It's everything you want. My personal hero, Kevin fucking Smith. The guy's made a few bad movies according to cinema, but in my heart, they're all great movies. So there's always going to be a fan for you. Everything has a fan out there. No matter what kind of music you play, you're going to have 1 or 2 fans. No matter what kind of sports team you're on for some league, you're going to have a fan or 2. It's all about how you do it and what you do. And so pretty much, after you do your little premiere, enter into a film festival. Get your paperwork together showing that, you have permission from this place to film, this song to use, everybody's paperwork. And submit it. Make sure you credit everybody in your credits because you don't exclude somebody. If I were to pick songs, I'm not going to label myself the sound producer. I'm going to have somebody actually do that job and give them credit. I'm not going to say music by me. I'm going to say I'm going to list the band and the track and what album it's from because they're helping me by doing this for free. It's, a lot of hard work to make a movie. It's not like one day I'm going to make a movie, guys. This is my idea. And, it's hard work. But thank you for listening. Next week, I'm going to be talking about how to brainstorm a movie, actual brainstorming. I'm going to have a guest or 2. So, thank you for tuning in to Not Your Father's Film School. I saved you 1 class so far. Have a good night.